Ladies and gentlemen, it is Hugo Quintanilla here again. You thought I forgot. You thought I forgot about you. You really did, didn't you? Well, I am here, and this is your live for learning a little bit more every day about real estate and how it can benefit you. I am your realtor, Hugo Quintanilla, licensed in Maryland with Long and Foster, North Potomac, Rockville. And this is your spot to learn more about real estate. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, please leave them in the chat or the DMs. My phone number is 240-389-4846. My email is hugo@lnf.com. And my website is yourrealtorhugo.com. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the delay. Thank you for your patience. It's been a really great day. I have some great news. Unfortunately, I can't share too many specifics, but this is one of those days that it's a big W in a realtor's book. And I wish I could share more publicly about it, but it warms my heart. And I hope the clients that this is about see this someday and just know that how truly special it is to work with them. And thank you for your trust and loyalty throughout this whole experience. Really, sometimes as a realtor, you're put into situations where you have to look beyond yourself and really look at the best benefit for your clients and extend yourself. And I really am grateful for my clients for taking that step with me and their trust. And at the end of the day, we got everything that we needed. And it truly was a pleasure to work with them and to get that success together as a team. So I really do appreciate that and them. And really, I can't tell you guys enough. And I wish maybe someday I could speak more on it, but that will be a chapter that is closed until that day. But it was truly, truly, truly a pleasure to work with you guys. And I really do wish all of you the best. But don't get sad. It's not anything bad, anything, out of this world. It's just, I have so much respect for clients that know what they want and know what they need to do to get there. And that letting nothing stop you, that drive, that is incredible. And when I see it, especially in young people, it is so refreshing and such a uplifting sense of the future. It makes things so much nicer. So we had the chili cook-off over at my office. That was really neat. I hear that there were a lot of really interesting takes over there. We had some curry chili. Robbie Shapiro won, an agent over there. So we had tons of entries apparently. I unfortunately was busy working, so I was not able to attend, but I heard that all of the agents over there had a ton of fun. Hopefully I can catch the next one, maybe document a little bit, record a little bit and hang out. But yeah, let's get into the day today for our 30-day ultimate home selling blueprint. It is day 10, ladies and gentlemen. Goodness gracious. We've started this whole process by it's not even been that long. We started assessing your home's condition and needs a week ago. We took a day to take a walk around the home and note areas that needed repairs or improvements. We researched local trends and recent sales to understand home's potential value. We created a list of necessary repairs and upgrades based on your assessments and market trends. We researched reputable contractors or professionals for necessary repairs or renovations, and we scheduled appointments for repairs or improvements up and obtained quotes and timelines. That was all in 5 days in 1 week. Of course, we have to be realistic. Like some of these agents and contractors are going to need some time to work and, go into the property and see it. So, of course, you're going to have to schedule some stuff. But we already knocked out a full 4 other days of stuff. We decluttered and depersonalized the home, creating an inviting atmosphere. We deep cleaned your home, paying attention to high traffic areas and key selling points. We researched staging techniques or considered hiring a staging professional for advice. We collected important documents related to your property, including maintenance records and warranties. And today, we're going to prepare a list of questions and concerns to discuss with the realtor during their evaluation. So that's why I really find it so poignant that today was such a personal victory for me as a realtor. And who you work with matters. It's a tried and true saying. It's something that I heard when I came to the company here at Long and Foster, and it has never failed to be true. Really, who you work with makes a difference. And sometimes having someone in a local market can truly make the experience that much more pleasurable and smooth. Stuff happens in every market, and sometimes having a local realtor in your market can really make all the difference. So take your time to interview local realtors, and don't just go with the first name that you see, and ask questions. Ask all the realtors the same questions if you need to, but really try to get a gist of all of them and pick one that feels like you will have an easier time expressing yourself with, communicating with, and feel like you will be having a lot of transparency and things that you need, like good rapport, as well as communicating your needs to the clients. How effective are they in their sales tactics? What sales tactics do they use? Those are all things to think about. So I'll give you 10 pointers to basically um, use to conduct interviews with realtors. And I invite you to please leave your comments and suggestions down below about things that you've asked realtors and other professionals, and that you found helpful, because you never know. Somebody else might have found that helpful, and it could be a point of um, talk that we can use for another live. So number one, local market insights. Ask about current market trends, recent sales, and the demand for homes in your area. This is real estate 101. A realtor that's walking into your property should have this information readily available. And if they don't, they should be able to get it for you. The numbers are not hard to find. You can find the numbers yourself. And if you'd like, you can even test them on the numbers and compare them. Cite your sources, but I will definitely say that any realtor worth their weight in paper should be able to pull that up for you immediately and have it ready for you in a packet. Pricing strategy. What type of pricing strategy is this realtor going to be conducting? Are we just going to market at the highest price possible and hope that someone gives us an offer? Or are we going to strategically price it undervalue so that we have the most eyes on it and have a bidding war so that we can get the most value out of it? Are we going to accept only a certain type of financing, or are we going to open it up to everybody because you were working with a realtor that knows how to handle all types of loans? Are we going to just, wait until our rate changes and the interest rates change before we sell? Or are we going to offer up our home within a suitable mortgage? There are tons of options that a good realtor can explore with you. So what type of strategy is your realtor employing? What strategies have they used in the past, and can they give you examples? um, when have these things gone well, and when have they gone wrong? you know I personally think that the best decisions you can make are ones where you are well informed and knowledgeable of what is coming ahead. So if you know what could happen, I think it's a more calculated risk, even though it is a risk. And everything comes with a risk. So make sure that if you are going to take a risk, that it is a calculated risk and one that you feel comfortable taking. Home improvement recommendations. This is where all the pre work and research that you did the last 2 weeks can really come into play. Inquire about recommended repairs, updates, or staging suggestions to enhance your home's appeal. If your realtor has a group of people they work with, this would be a great point of time to bring them into the loop and show them what you've already done research on and what you would like to do and your plans and your vision, and compare and contrast their notes with yours. Sometimes realtors might give you a little bit better insight on what does truly sell versus what you deduced online because of some articles and some anecdotal studies that you might have found. Really, you're talking to someone hopefully that has been doing this for enough time to have a baseline of what does and doesn't work. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to avoid you the guesswork out of listing your property and try to make the experience the most efficient possible. Marketing plan. It's not just about the strategy and not just about the pricing. It's also about a marketing plan. In this day and age, you have to have a all-encompassing approach to listing a property. Understand the realtor's marketing approach, including online strategies, open houses, and target audience reach. What demographic does your realtor actually reach? Do they reach everyone? Can they talk to everyone? Or are they, for lack of a better term, a little bit more locked into a certain age group? There are realtors that speak very well to a certain segment of the population, and there are realtors that I could never reach. There are realtors that I could reach that others cannot. So we all have, and I've said this before, there are all sorts of flavors of realtors in the world. So we all have different reach in our audience and market. Can we market your property for all those audiences? That's what you have to look into. What sort of experience does the realtor have in that? And what can they bring to the table in online strategies, be it social media, as well as advertised, as well as actual SEO and internet presence? And what target audiences do they hit regularly that would pay attention? What community have they built? That's a huge term that you'll see moving on forward from here on out in 2024 is community building. Community, community. Timeline for selling. Discuss the estimated timeline for selling, marketing, and closing the sale of your home. These are all estimated timelines. Believe me, in a market like the one we have right now, things could close faster, they could close slower, but really houses that are priced appropriately and show well are selling, and they're selling quickly. So it's still a hot market out there because there isn't a lot of inventory. The properties that you're seeing sit out there for more than 2 weeks are the properties that have a problem with their pricing. And the price doesn't match the quality on the inside. So keep that in mind. Let's see what else. Realtor's experience. Ask about the realtor's experience selling homes in your area and and their success rate. What is their list to offer ratio? What are their numbers? A lot of this information can be looked up on sites like homes.com or homesnap.com, and you can see the reports of agents, versus other agents. Sometimes there are referral services like Homelight as well that will show you local realtors in your area. I would also ask around personal references and look at portals such as Yelp and other places that might have good or accurate reviews on the realtor services. Um, but speak to the realtor's experiences and let them tell you their story. And like I said, there are tons of realtors where you can pick and choose someone that matches a criteria and something that you're looking for, something that really speaks to your background and your experiences. Commission and fee. Clarify the realtor's commission structure and associated fees or costs. The majority of these are negotiable. So I'll just say that straight off the bat. I will not tell you what they are negotiable to, but traditionally, what has happened is a 6% commission that's split two ways. One portion, typically 3%, 50% of the 6%, is given to the listing side. And then the buying side, the selling side, the side that's representing the buyer, they get 50%. 3%, 50% of 6%, 3% goes to the buying side, the selling side. So altogether, that 6% is negotiated at the beginning with the listing agent. The listing agent negotiates that deal because they will use those monies to market the property, advertise the property, get the property ready to list, and follow the property through to close. So they've already budgeted in their commission with the commission that they're going to offer the buyer. Of course, everything's negotiable, so feel free and ask around if how much they can negotiate on these fees, and see what you got. Really, more than anything else, what you are cutting into when you cut into a realtor's commission is your marketing. You take away from the money that realtor might use to promote and push the listing out there, especially if it's a difficult listing. That's kind of double whammy. If you have a difficult listing or a very unique listing that might be hard to sell or might take a long time to sell at a particular price, and then on top of that, you're asking for a low commission rate. Really, I find it very difficult to have it both ways, because you either have to have a very skilled, trained agent that can do it, or has the community around him that will pick up that property, or it's gonna stay there because it's really it's you're not giving the realtor a lot to work with. You're actually probably making the realtor come out of pocket for the listing, unless they're already prepared with a network. So that's something to keep in mind. When you're talking about commissions, you're not really hurting a company. You're hurting the listing agent or the buying agent that's working with it. That's my 2 cents on commissions. But customarily and originally and traditionally, they've always been around 6%. And I'm sure all of you have heard about the news that we have about commissions nowadays. So stay tuned. Communication and updates. Discuss how the realtor will keep you informed and updated through the selling process. Pick and be clear about what your best method of contact is. If you like to be emailed, email. If you like to be text. But tell them, communicate that early on so that everyone's on the same page. The worst is that you have a realtor that likes to phone call when you only like to take text, or a real or an agent or excuse me, a client that only wants phone calls, but you're a realtor that only wants to text. You got to have a middle ground, and you need to meet each other halfway. So something like that needs to be discussed, because otherwise you won't be able to work together and communicate properly. Negotiation strategy. Inquire about their approach to negotiations and how they handle offers from potential buyers. I personally am a real estate negotiation expert. I have a designation for that. I took, classes to try to learn how to be a better negotiator, what I can and can't do, what I can and can't offer, where we can and cannot go in real estate transactions. So, what type of experience can that agent bring to the table? What type of uh, designations or negotiation strategies can they use in these scenarios? What happens when, ask them, what happens when you do have multiple offers? How do you handle these? And that is a very easy way to understand if your realtor is prepared to take on your listing or not. And finally, my last suggestion would be to look for client references. Request references from past clients to gauge their satisfaction and experience working with the realtor. This is can be done with testimonials. They're usually, most people have reviews. You can see um, a glimpse into how a realtor works. Um, I would take all of those reviews with a grain of salt, just in case, because you just never know, if they are false or whatnot. But what you will see with an agent that has pretty good reviews and good work ethic is a pretty even number of reviews, positive reviews, to their transactions. They'll both be correlating probably upwards. Um, if you have an agent that's probably not the best at what they do, what you'll have is a lot of sales, probably a lot of transactions, but very few positive reviews, if any at all. So that will show you sometimes someone that might be a little bit more transactional and getting stuff done, whereas someone might give you a better experience overall as a buyer or seller. And maybe that's what you value. But everyone's different. And like I said, there are realtors for all sorts of flavors. So if you have any questions, feel free and ask your local realtor. I'm sure there's a million and one that would love to list your home and consult and interview and see what they say. Prepare these questions and concerns will help facilitate a productive discussion with your realtor, ensuring you're well informed and aligned on selling strategies and expectations. The clearer you are in the beginning, the easier it is to hold people accountable. I would also highly suggest that you get everything in writing. Just a quick tip. So, to recap for today, guys, for day 10 of your ultimate 30-day home selling blueprint, we are going to ask our realtor about local market insights, pricing strategy, home improvement recommendations, marketing plan, the timeline for selling, realtor's experiences, the commission and the fees associated with selling, how communication will be handled and updates, what negotiation strategy can they employ or use, and client references if they have any. Really, all this stuff is to better work with your realtor, because at this point you pretty much are ready to sell your home. You were ready 9 days ago because you decided, I'm going to sell my home. Even if you did none of the pre-work before, at this point at day 10, the moment that you get your realtor to come into the home, your realtor can go back and do all of this work for you. This is all the stuff that a realtor can do for you, taking off your plate almost 2 weeks of work. Whereas, you would have to sit there and make these phone calls and do everything on your own. So, you know, we talked about commissions earlier. This is all stuff that's not talked about that goes into earning our commission every day. So, the network that each realtor has is different. The companies that they work with all have different benefits and different partnerships. So make sure that they explain what they can offer for you, because I'm sure they all have different packages. For tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be day 11, and it's going to start our week 3. And this is decision making on renovations and preparing for the move. Renovation decisions and move preparation. Day 11 is actually going to be reviewing your budget and quotes obtained for repairs or renovations, prioritized based on cost and impact. So tomorrow is going to be another budget planning day. But remember, this is like carpentry. We want to measure twice and cut once. So it's much better that we work out a budget now and try to stay within our budget than just start spending money everywhere. And then before we know it, we are more in debt than we ever wanted to be and coming out with less profit than we never wanted to be. Remember, we want this sale to make sense. And the only way we make dollars is to make sense. Add up. I appreciate all of you bearing with me tonight and hanging in there for the late night show. And I will see you all again tomorrow for day 11 of your 30-day home selling blueprint. So I really appreciate all of you again tuning in. I am Hugo Quintanilla, a realtor licensed in Maryland. My website is yourrealtorhugo.com. My email is hugo@lnf.com. And my phone number is 240-389-4846. Please follow me on YouTube at Hugo for Long and Foster, TikTok at Hugo for Long and Foster, and go ahead and Google me if you have any other questions or comments or want to find me anywhere else online at Hugo Quintanilla. I appreciate all of you, as always, tuning in and spending some time with me, and I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you so much. Take care. Be safe out there, guys. read your contracts, and I will see you tomorrow. Have fun. Good night.